What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. Tommy Tallarico has been ousted as the CEO of Intellivision. No, actually, no, that's not what happened at all. But if you follow some certain haters on Twitter and YouTube, you'd see people using some interesting words to describe a situation that they really don't know anything about. So in this video, I'm going to detail some information that I know about Intellivision, Tommy Tallarico, and Phil Adam, and what exactly is going on with the Intellivision Amigo. If it's your first time to the channel, make sure you've hit that subscribe button and bell for notifications so you do not miss an upload. And without further ado, let's talk about the Intellivision Amigo. It's been a hot minute since the last time I talked about this, and that's probably because not much has really transpired. And I know I'm always ever the optimist with the Amigo because when I've played it, I've had the time of my life with it. I invested $10,000 into it, which I always want to tell people about so they don't think I'm super biased and not telling you full disclosures of everything that's going on. But yeah, I love it. I loved it enough to invest in it, and I personally can't wait for it to come to retail. Hopefully soon, but who knows? It's a crazy world right now between the pandemic and inflation and everything you could possibly think of under the sun. It hasn't been a good mix of the perfect storm of information that's been happening to Intellivision, especially recently. But with all that out of the way, what happened today actually prompted me to make a video. Our good friend of the channel, Pat Contri, posted on Twitter. He couldn't wait to try to claim victory over the Intellivision Amigo situation by saying that Tommy Tallarico has been ousted as CEO, being replaced by Phil Adam. But that's not actually what happened. Like, I looked up the definition of ousted to make sure I'm not going crazy, and I'm like, yeah, no, he hasn't been driven out or forced out of the position. I know this because I have had personal conversations with Tommy, with Phil, discussing this in great detail about what's going on and why they're going the direction they are. So I find it fascinating that somebody who is on the outside looking in is making gigantic leaps and assumptions and claiming victory over something he knows nothing about. And for me, at least, I would like to think if you're going to be reporting information, you'd want to make sure you're getting it right. You go to the source and you talk to them, and then you give people a vibe of what you sense, how you feel about it, instead of just making a blanket statement across the board of, here's what happened because the whole Intellivision team is in disarray, it's disheveled and they're falling apart, and Tommy is just such an idiot that he's getting pushed out of there. No, Tommy's still the president of Intellivision. Phil Adam is one of Tommy's good friends. They've worked with each other and known each other for over 25 years. And Tommy even, so if you don't even want to like take my word for the conversations that I've had with these gentlemen, Tommy posted on a public Intellivision Facebook page the reality of what happened and goes into great detail about it so that there's no questions. But it's funny because people will be like, well, why should I believe Tommy? You don't have to, but I mean, that's the official source of the situation. And I mean, that's probably a good starting place. That's where I would start. You can speculate on if you feel like Tommy's lying or if Intellivision is just in complete disarray and they're just putting up this complete front in front of everyone. Maybe that's what makes this entire topic just so divisive. But that feels like what it is with the Intellivision. It's just everyone has a stance, whether you're for it or against it. And one thing I've learned, no matter how much passion or proof is presented, people are going to have their opinions and they don't budge from that position, for or against it, pro or con. It's what we've gotten to. As far as the situation with Tommy Tallarico and Phil Adam, Tommy has a lot going on personally that I'm not going to get into. That is his private life situation that has been making his life very busy, we'll say, and taking away from the focus of being able to be fully creative and CEO of an entire organization that's making a new game console. And Tommy was the one that stepped up and basically said, I can't do this right now. I need to diversify the power of this organization because that would make it better in the long run. Instead of all falling on Tommy, he wanted to spread out the power. This is from Tommy, this is not me speculating. Again, whether you want to believe me or not is up to you, but this is the conversation that me and a few people had with Tommy a couple weeks ago. This is not something that takes me by surprise because I was well aware of it happening. And even when Tommy and Phil told me that it was happening, I wasn't upset or frustrated. I was actually happy. I was like, this is actually a good thing because it gives Intellivision new life. Phil can focus on the more corporate structure, the more financial focused stuff, although that's Nick too. And Tommy can go back to focusing on the whole reason he started this project in the first place, the creative aspects of it, the games involved, how it plays in tune with the market they're going after, all that kind of stuff. So from a certain perspective, I think this is great news for Intellivision. So it's funny to me how haters will use any opportunity. This is what we were saying too when we were privately talking about it, is that we knew the second that this news broke that people would find like the worst thing they could think about and say and run with that as proof that Intellivision is in shambles and that Tommy Tallarico doesn't know what he's doing and the entire organization is a fraud and Tommy Tallarico is so bad that they're actually pushing him out of there. But that's not what's happening at all. Though don't get it twisted, this doesn't mean that I don't have any objections or concerns about Intellivision as an organization. I just wanted to make a video saying this is the reality about what's transpiring, why Tommy is no longer the CEO of Intellivision, which, by the way, haters will leave out the fact that he's still the president of the company. The CEO duties have been passed along to Phil Adam, who is, from all indications and everything that I've researched on him, 100% fully qualified to be doing this. And that's why I'm excited about it. But that doesn't guarantee success for the Intellivision Amigo. They still have a gigantic uphill battle that isn't guaranteed. And I go back to videos I've made before about the Intellivision Amigo, that it's really sad that there's so many gamers out there that are wishing doom and gloom on a new company trying to make it. And it reminds me of back in the day when I used to do sales, how it's a very dog-eat-dog world out there. It's a very cold world, and it's really depressing to see how many people just want to hold you down and want to see you fail instead of cheering you on. It gets more clicks, it gets more attention, it's easier to write the headlines to get people to come to you and believe you because drama sells, and it's really sad. But I mean, that's not to say Intellivision, like I said, not to say that they're perfect or everything's going great there. I have a lot of concerns about them, and there's no guarantees of long-term success, but this one thing is a good thing, in my opinion. Unfortunately, it's a gigantic uphill climb, and they don't seem to currently have a tremendous amount of public sentiment behind them for them. And it's something I've actually told Tommy multiple times is, at this point, it's put up or shut up. You got to prove it to people. You got to come out with it, and you got to show them what you got. You can't just hide behind claims and just say, oh, believe me all day, believe me, and oh, it's going to be great, and we just need you to believe me and stop making up lies about me and this, that, the other thing. I've told Tommy this. I go, okay, but that stuff's going to happen. How are you going to deal with it? How are you going to move forward? Prove it to people that you got this. And hopefully Intellivision is able to do that. I don't know the inner working details of the financial situation over there right now, but I'd imagine as a startup during a pandemic with a chip shortage and inflation running wild, that it's probably not easy going right now, and they need all the help they can get. That would be my best guess. I'm still hopeful. I still have some expectations as an investor that this will come out. But at this point, it's just kind of like, hey, put up or shut up, Tommy, and Intellivision and Phil. Put the wheels to the ground. Start moving. What do we got? And hopefully they're able to do it. So that's the reality of the situation. From me, who's spoken to these people in great detail about what's going on and why this change is happening. Tommy's able to focus more on the creative aspect instead of spending all his time being bogged down with financial statements and business propositions and all these other things that they need to get done. Tommy can focus on his passion of why he started this in the first place, which is why he is transferring from the CEO position to being the creative operator, whatever he is. He's not the CEO anymore. And I think, like I said, I think that's a very good thing. Those are my thoughts on this. I'm going to leave it there. Believe me or not, I don't care. I know, like I said earlier, the haters are going to hate and the believers are going to believe. This video is going to do nothing to change anyone's mind, but I have the box to stand on with my channel. I had the information from them and I'm like, well, I'm going to just give it to people. Give it to you straight. This is what's happening. Take it or leave it. I hope it helps at least fill in the picture instead of just hearing people trash this organization over and over again to get clicks, to get Patreons, to get people to like them more. It's depressing. I'm going to leave it there. If you made it to the end of the video, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And as always, you stay smashing. Smash and change.